that hasn't had anything done to it, meaning nobody's really cut on the thing. The moisture you make it, the more moisture you have, the better it's going to be. Cranial nerves are going to come off in order from anterior to posterior. So this is the underside of the brain. These two structures, each one of those is an olfactory bulb. Olfactory bulb is going to, let me switch over to here. There's going to be an olfactory tract. So from there to there is an olfactory bulb. An olfactory tract is going to look like this. It comes down like that before it goes into the brain, and it's going to be on either side. This one's falling apart a little bit. In fact, the brain stuff, the order we placed either never got placed or it just hasn't come in yet, so I'm still using old stuff. Here's the tract coming down here. So this is pretty medial where the bulb is, but olfactory bulb plus olfactory tract equals olfactory nerve, cranial nerve number 1. And so it starts out along the midline, but it actually goes in kind of laterally. The second cranial nerve to come off is the optic. Here and here, and one of the things I might do on an exam is I might put a pin right there in the middle and say, identify this location where crossing over occurs. Can y'all see? I can't even actually see what's up there. It says, it's just out of my vision link. I probably could magnify it. It says, looks like it starts out with corpus callosum and. So it's the other one that has the optic nerves, the different nerves on. Okay. Do you remember from, you're not going to like this, from mitosis and meiosis? You remember having to learn those strategies? And that you had chromosomes that would sometimes have their little legs overlap one another, and we would call that crossing over. Is an example of recombination. Sort of sound familiar? Yeah. Well, right here in the middle is where that crossing over occurs, and it is an X-shaped structure. So if I put the pointer right here, this would be the point at which, well, let me phrase it a little bit differently. This nerve is going from the left eye, it's going to cross over to the right side of the brain. This one goes to the right eye, it's going to cross over and go to the left side of the brain. Remember, I've got this upside down. And so this is referred to as the optic chiasm. Chiasmata are what happens when those chromosomes overlap one another. So in both cases, you're creating an X-like structure. Okay, so cranial nerve number 1, olfactory, cranial nerve number 2, optic. Cranial nerve number 3, this one doesn't, this is the pituitary, so we don't have this one with all the stuff off of it, but there's one brain, at least, that shows this really, really well. And it's probably not this one, but it's pretty close. So this would be cranial nerve 1, 2, optic chiasm. You see the crossing over really nicely here. And then right here is what's left of the oculomotor. But one of these brains, y'all may need to give me some more brains off the table. I know I put some on there.